Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Card Talk, a podcast where we spend just a little bit of time talking about cards from Lord of the Rings card game. I'm your host, Dave Walsh.
And I'm Ted Bannock, and I love talking about fives.
Fives?
Yeah. Like if I were to talk about a specific number of things, I would do it in fives.
Fives?
Like I think that's like a good number. Yeah.
Okay. And Micah, do you have a catchy opening over at Second Breakfast?
I mean, I don't really have a catchy opening. I think actually no, that's right. I think I stole your opening. I just think I say I'm your host, Micah Quantz. I think that's.
Oh, okay.
I think I just stole yours.
Well, we can't have two hosts.
I'm Micah Quantz.
Okay.
Here for the first time.
For the first time on the main
podcast.
Yeah, on the main show.
I made it. I finally made it.
We promoted you to the big boy seat.
Called up.
Yeah. We got the right hander coming in from.
We needed some extra help lifting because we got a slightly bigger than normal episodes going on.
So some of the older fans of Card Talk will recognize this as February, which is our Extravaganza Month. We haven't had an Extravaganza in the past couple of years, at least on the pod. Last year, Matt, who will join us for future episodes, he did an Extravaganza over at the blog, and I think. I don't think anybody expects Micah to do Extravaganza Month with Second Breakfast. That would be wild. But here we are. We got an Extravaganza Month where we put our regular content on hold. We review one card at a time, and we bring you some different kind of content. And so this year, I took something from what we were going to do a couple of years ago when my personal life got in the way of stuff, but so instead of doing we're eight this month, so that's good. Card Talk turns 8, but we were going to do top 5 in celebration of the completion of our 5th year, so our 6th birthday. So we didn't do that, and then so now we're revisiting, and so we did top 5. We're going to do top 5, and so or maybe even bottom 5. And so that's why we wanted Micah and Matt and Grant and everybody to just join us when they can to try to talk about this, because there's some opinions here. And so just to give the viewer, you guys, a little bit of a background on what happened. So about a month and a half ago, I sent out a survey where I asked everybody to list their top 5 and bottom 5 in certain categories. Top 5 quest, bottom 5 treachery, top 5 hero, bottom 5 ally, whatever it was. Okay. And so this month we're going to spend a show and we're going to talk about whatever category we want, whether it's top 5 spirit heroes like today, or whether we're going to talk about the bottom 5 treacheries, which are the bottom 5 treacheries the worst treacheries, or are they the best
I think we meant worst as in the most difficult to deal with, and best being the easiest to deal with,
or the ones with the best positive effects.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah. But today we're going to talk, and hopefully by the end of the episode we will hammer out the kind of Card Talk's definitive top 5 spirit heroes. Okay, and spirit, we had probably the least amount of arguing, at least offline arguing, but there's still, like, as you get down to the bottom of the 5, like, there's some room in there for a lot of
Gets spicy.
Yeah, it does get. Yeah, that's exactly right. And so I think the thing to do is usually a lot of people will start at number 5 and work up to 1. But I think with this, I think a lot of people out there who have played this game for years, or even some of the newcomers, they're gonna know what the top cards are, and they're gonna want to hear us discuss maybe what pulls in at the bottom of the list and why. So, and so I'll start at the top of the list. And when I say the top of the list, I mean the ones that we voted on as being the best in the game. Okay. And so, without any further ado, let's bring you the top 5 spirit heroes as best we can. So,
as by Card Talk.
Yes, as by Card Talk. In this case, I didn't ask for any input other than just Card Talk, not aficionados, Card Talk content creators. So, so the one that everybody agreed on, and I think we can all agree on, is Galadriel. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Is there any discussion about why Galadriel should not be on the list, or?
Well, the first part of her text is,
off-putting?
Use this hero to not play the game. Right?
Right.
It's like, the things all heroes can do, I can't do any of those things. Right? That's like the first, second. So there's reasons, right? There's a natural restriction on her,
right?
That is large, and so there's reasons where people would not be turned off by that, especially a new player's gonna look at it and be like, this is the best. I don't even how,
right?
Could be weird. That's all.
Yeah, but people still play her all the time.
Oh, but she's still really fantastic.
I was gonna say you can put her into most decks, and most decks are going to be better for it.
Yeah,
unless it's your solo, unless it's your tactics deck, right? You put Galadriel in your tactics deck, it's probably not gonna. But even then, maybe. Who knows?
But even then, maybe.
Yeah. It could work. Okay, so Galadriel's on the list. No problem, right? Okay. Yep. There was 2 heroes that 4 of us thought were like, I don't want to necessarily say second and third. I just want to say like top 5, right? And so the first one we'll talk about a little bit is Dáin Ironfoot. Obviously the spirit version, the Erd Mithrin guy. Love him. Right. Yeah, like let me see who didn't vote for Dáin. I would guess it's going to be Grant. And, of course, it's Grant, who's not with us tonight. But, which is
call
actually...
him out.
Well, Grant, his defense consists of usually Grimbjorn, but Grimbjorn isn't spirit. Yeah. So, so does Dáin deserve to be up on this list?
Yeah. Yeah. Also, yeah. And it's kind of opposite of the little tiny complaint about Galadriel, because Dáin is instantly a good hero without needing any cards from your deck.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference. Where Galadriel, yeah, she has her own abilities without cards from your deck, but Dáin literally can function with nothing. And be super good.
That was Micah's nickname in high school. Function with nothing. Well, I mean, Galadriel has this cadre of cards that you want to play with her, right? She's got
generally,
like the mirror, and I don't know, just
and her and you're gonna like build around her ability and when to use her action. And Dáin, it's like, I'm gonna do this one thing really good, and I'm gonna do it really good all the time.
Yeah. But he does other things too, like
right with other, but it doesn't even matter what those things are.
Yeah.
Because
like you say,
one thing.
Like you always say, I mean, you need a defender, and very
wise.
Like
I think
right off the bat, there's no better defender, right? Like,
yeah, I like the cut of this one's jib. We might keep him on full time.
Oh, Micah, I think you're gonna come for my job next. Yeah,
I'll just repeat everything Dave says.
Yeah. Sounds like you're repeating everything Ted says. Dáin is. We did a more detailed show on Dáin, but
Yeah,
Dáin
check out
is,
the individual show, but the bottom line is he's just a really good defender out of the gate.
Really good. Yeah,
that deserves the top spot.
Yeah.
So I see why we all or many of us listed him.
Yeah,
many of
us. And by many of us we mean not
Grant.
Not Grant. Well, he's British. It's whatever. And then 4 of us said Glorfindel, right? And I mean, my thing about Glorfindel is Glorfindel came out early in the game's life, and Glorfindel really just changed the whole meta of the game. Not that this game has like a huge meta because it's a cooperative game, but like the meta of the game changed, and it's like every deck has Spirit Glorfindel in it, right? Like it just was a thing.
Yeah. It was a thing, and I mean, when the game was coming out, and there still is a meta. If it's like as most effective win methods, right? And then the fun that the veteran players have is kind of like, well, how can I be not effective and still win? Right, is what we like to do for our time.
How can I build a subpar deck? If you want to see subpar decks, just check over at Second Breakfast over on the.
That's right. That's like subpar.
Yeah, right. That's super challenging there.
But I think, I with Glorfindel, I find, for me, the more I play him, the more annoying that one threat raise becomes. Like, I find like every time I put him on the board, I like him just a little tiny bit less. I mean, he's great, but
I mean, I have it in black and white here. He made your list, so
yeah.
I mean,
good.
But I know what you mean. Like you get whether
I remember someone doing. It might have been Bjorn. It might have been over at his blog. He did some analysis on Glorfindel of like, even if you start with him and you end up taking your threat up by 7 to make him equal to his stats, you're still ahead of the game as opposed to starting with like a 12 cost or a 12 threat cost hero.
Yeah, and that is why he's so good, and that's why he is on my list for sure. So.
Yeah. It makes sense. He's got good traits.
Yeah.
He's a badass dude. Slayed a Balrog, right?
Yeah.
So,
Which
got good art. Got like super good art on top of it.
Yeah. That Glorfindel Spirit Glorfindel art is really awesome looking. Yeah. And then we get down. So, I mean, I think Galadriel, Dáin, Glorfindel, like they deserve to be on the list. But now I think we get down to the last 2. This is where it gets a little choppy. Okay. And
and everything's subjective, all these episodes, right?
No. Nope.
But it's scientific.
Yeah. Yet arbitrary. Yeah, I do like the cut of this one's jib. Yeah. This is good. Highly scientific yet arbitrary. I mean, so here's the thing. We have 3 that people voted for. Like Arwen, 3 of us said should be on the top 5. Okay. And Arwen's good, right? Arwen, right?
Is, yeah.
And then Círdan, good. And then Spirit Frodo all had multiple votes, right? And I mean, I'm all for Frodo. And then some other also rans here.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be some runner-ups too. Like we're going to list the top 5, and there's going to be runner-ups. So we'll just go down with what we have, and the next one on the list is Arwen by our voting method.
Yeah,
right?
but I mean, I was going to say there's Caldara, Mary, Dunhere, Baragon, and Éowyn also got votes. Spirit Éowyn. I was surprised that I was the only one who said Spirit Éowyn. And joining us right here at the very end is Matt from our blog here, reviewing one card at a time. Matt, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's good. And so now we have Second Breakfast, we have the blog, we have the pod. Everything's going on here. All the Card Talk parts are kind of aligning here.
Some kind of Card Talk Megazord type situation.
I was thinking more like Voltron, but
yeah, that's a perfect reference.
A Megazord.
Yeah.
Mighty Morphin Power Ranger.
Just kind of date myself there.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us, Matt. It wouldn't be a fellowship without having at least one late adventurer join through.
So before we get into the last two, then Matt, I put you on the spot here. Last thing, 4 of us said that Spirit Glorfindel should be on the list, but Matt, you did not. Do you have what shameful things do you have to say why it didn't make your top 5?
So I guess I took a slightly different approach on my top 5 probably than what most people would expect. I didn't go just by power. I was like, I want to make sure whatever I pick does something interesting as well. And so it's like they have to still be effective, but I'm not just going to pick a pile of stats. So that's why Éowyn didn't make my list. That's why Spirit Glorfindel didn't make my list. Even though if I was making it like the top five, like power wise, those would probably be like 1 and 2.
Right. Okay, well that's good. Everybody has and Matt, I mean, you bring something that we didn't really talk about at the beginning. Like everybody kind of has their own like what good means, like is good something that changes how you play, is good just pile of stats, is good, opening up a whole different style of play. Who knows? So, and I purposely left that off of there because we knew that Matt was going to ruin every list that we were ever going to try. But we're at the bottom. We're at the last 2 spots. Okay.
Yeah. But there were heroes that had multiple votes, right? That's what I was saying.
Yes. So,
yeah. Okay.
I mean that's the choice I guess we have to make here. And this is where the interesting conversation comes in is, going on straight votes, Arwen would be the 4th entry on the list because she has 3 votes. But I didn't vote for Arwen. I don't even use Arwen. And Arwen's good. She's good to look at. But, I just don't use her in my solo, in my solo-ness. I don't play Noldor typically, so she doesn't match up with my style. So
oh man.
I would take Arwen off the list and I would put Frodo up there.
No.
Who also got votes. What do you mean no?
No.
Go ahead. Tell me. Go ahead, Micah.
Well,
fight me.
Okay. I've played Spirit Frodo maybe once, I think.
Yeah, well, that's your fault.
I play Noldor all the time.
Okay.
It's probably my favorite archetype. So that's why we've got Arwen and Círdan on my list. But out of the 2, if I have to defend one, I'm going to fight for Círdan.
You're going to fight for Círdan. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, is there space for 3 Noldor on the list? Galadriel, Noldor, Arwen,
True.
the granddaughter, Círdan, another Noldor. Like,
Have to share some slots, I guess.
I don't know. I don't like. That's a lot of Noldor on a list a top 5. And not to say
Noldor are.
Yes, I mean Círdan arguably is the second best target for Light of Valinor, right? Like, so.
Yeah, you get Narya in there and ready up some allies, and that's. I don't even tend to think of Círdan as a Noldor hero, really, because I almost never play him in a Noldor deck. I always throw them in a deck where I've got powerful allies, so I can use Narya to ready people.
Yeah, you voted for Círdan, Matt.
Yep, and I don't play an Noldor either. That's why I didn't vote for Arwen.
Oh, man.
Well, yeah, I think Arwen should make the cut because her ability is effective, right? To be able to trade cards for money.
It is, well, especially when she can use Elven Light to just draw a card instead of getting your resource.
I don't know. 3. Come on, 3. You're gonna put 3 Noldor on this list? Like, if you had to choose between Arwen and Círdan, who are you putting on that list? Matt, I know you're putting on Círdan. Micah, you're putting Círdan.
Easily.
Ted, who are you putting on that list?
Probably Círdan, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, here's the thing. We can't have a list without having a Hobbit on it. I mean, Spirit Frodo is really good. Spirit Frodo can be your defender. We were talking about Dáin. Dáin, is your defender right out the gate. Spirit Frodo, he can also be your defender right out the gate. You just have to trade a little bit of
a lot bit of threat.
Well, I mean, but you play, like, that's what you do, is you play into that. I mean, Spirit has the threat reduction, right? Like, so, you can play Spirit Frodo until you get some good defenders out on the board, which also just happen to be in Sphere, like Jabire and things like that. So, like, I don't know, like, I think y'all are ruining my Hobbit thing. But is it safe to take all the people that only had one vote and push them out, like Éowyn? I think Éowyn is also really good.
Éowyn's good, but yeah.
She's a core set hero that holds up, and she only really gets better in multiplayer. So I mean, that's a thing.
She's pretty much the questing hero, because Círdan and Galadriel also have 4 willpower, but they're tougher to fit into decks because you can't utilize Galadriel's 4 willpower right off the bat unless you have a good opening hand. And Círdan is the higher threat one, so he gets kicked out a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like, so I said before, pure power wise, you can't really beat Spirit Éowyn except with Tactics Éowyn.
I'm surprised that Baragond wasn't on here more.
Yeah, one person said Baragond. And I'll give you one guess who decided to pick a defender as a good card to put on there.
Well, wise people say.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I feel like we have to stick to, like, the ones that have votes, right? Like, I Grant put Dunhere on the list, but he just loves his Dunhere duck shoot deck, which, kills things in the staging areas. So, and Caldara, like Matt, I know that Caldara is cool and has a great thing, but you're the only one that voted for Caldara. So
it's because she got eroded into second tier abilities.
Yeah.
The Endless Caldara deck was amazing for a really long time.
until the errata, right? So
there's an idea. We'll have a game that's just no errata. Play cards as printed.
Boromir.
Old Boromir. Old Barivor.
Old Barivor. Really old Barivor. Oh man. I don't know. So look, we have 2 spots, and I think that it has to come down between Arwen, Círdan, and Frodo. Those, I mean, kind of sticking to this. And I really want Frodo on that list. I'm not necessarily right, but I don't know. Like,
I would concede that 5th slot to Frodo if Círdan can be number 4.
Oh, you sound like a baseball manager or a baseball and a card to be named later or something.
It's not my exact order, but I'd be okay with that.
Kieran's quite strong. I mean, strong stats and the ability to just scroll through your deck is effective. But Frodo offers you a good what, everybody?
Defender.
Defense.
Right.
He offers you a good defense. It's like legit. You're like, oh, I'm gonna get to even when the card pool was very, very small, right? And Frodo came out, you were like, okay, I can stop hill trolls now, I guess.
I honestly
cost me some
probably just need to
threat,
play
but-
him more.
It's shocking because to an extent, I mean, I'd say like managing threat for a spirit deck can be easier than managing damage, right? Like healing.
Right.
So if Dave wants to put them on the list, I will vote to put them on the list number 5.
Oh, wow. Approved. Three out of a 4. Wow. I just stronger. Matt's not saying anything, but
I'm just totally back on talking more about how you can use like Lore Aragorn to reset your threat, and I've made Hobbit decks that get down to 0 threat and stuff. So it's
right.
It's so easy to play off his ability.
Plenty of shenanigans, right? Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So who's gonna get the last spot, Arwen or Círdan?
I'll have to stick to my Arwen vote.
Arwen? I don't know. Matt, what do you think?
I still think Círdan is a better play. He fits into more decks.
I gotta go Círdan too.
Are we gonna be okay, well? That's up. You're the deciding vote, Dave.
How
much do you value our friendship? Is the question.
Okay.
You're gonna be deciding.
You're
right now.
You're right, Ted. It's we're the pod. The other guys are interlopers, so I'm gonna pick Círdan too. Okay, great. Círdan it is. Okay.
So that's stupid looking, Dave.
Yeah. Well, so according to what we have, that's like this is the last thing. Okay. Kind of universally, Galadriel, Dáin, and Glorfindel made the list, except for Matt didn't like Glorfindel, but whatever. It's just Matt. He can write about that over at the blog. And then I strong arm Frodo on the list, but maybe as the fifth of 5, and then Círdan gets put above Frodo. Arwen
definitely. Yeah, I mean those are good runner ups. Kind of vying for the last spot. If you're running any of those, if your deck is really any 3 of those 5 heroes, it's probably a good deck.
Yeah, if you're playing any 2 of those 5 heroes, it's probably a good deck, unless you're Micah, and then who never uses Frodo for anything. So, then we don't know what the heck that deck
terrible
is.
Deck,
right? Micah, this is a perfect opportunity. If only you had a place where you could just play decks and then post them for the community to watch.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Well, I guess that there it is, right? Is that the list? Got rid of Arwen. Arwen's 6th on a list of 5. So, okay, everybody, there it is. Our top 5 spirit heroes with the requisite arguments, and of course I was going to win, so I knew that Frodo was going to make the list. Okay, Galadriel, Dáin, Glorfindel, Círdan, and Frodo in any order you want to put them in, right? Okay, everybody.
Highly scientific.
Yeah, highly scientific yet arbitrary. Okay, everybody. Join us again as we talk about more top 5s in the game. Have a great day, everybody.
Do you love the content? Here's what you can do to stay connected. Become a patron. The money collected through Patreon goes into keeping the lights on here at the podcast. We love our patrons, and you can join at many different levels. Visit patreon.com/cardtalk2018. You can subscribe to us, whether you're watching our YouTube channel or you're listening to us in your favorite podcatcher. Hit the subscribe button to get notifications of all our new episodes. Didn't know we were an audio podcast? Find us by searching Card Talk to get access to our 120 plus regular episodes. Didn't know we were a video channel? Find us by searching Card Talk LOTR LCG on YouTube. And there you can find not only our regular episodes, but you can find our bonus playthroughs and other content related to the game. Want to get a hold of Ted, Grant, or myself? Feel free to email the podcast at cardtalk2018@gmail.com.